Hey, we're live! We'll get everybody to catch up. This magic moment. So that's what's going on. Holy shish kebab. Well, we got a big audience tonight, and we wanted to say hello to people in Denver that just came on, and we want to talk to some of the people in Baltimore. So, what happened this weekend? Well, not a whole bunch. Did a show in New Jersey, and that show in New Jersey was a lot of fun. I took a train to another train, and then to a bus in a really great neighborhood where I saw the Statue of Liberty sinking in the sand. What's up, New Freedom 21? Good to have you on board. Happy Sunday. I hope you're not getting the Sunday night blues, because that really sucks when that happens. And you know what? Here's the thing about Sunday night blues. You need to tell the Sunday night blues to go fuck itself. I'm sorry, and I'll drink to that. Because everyone gets, oh, I'm feeling bad. The weekend's over. Don't worry about the weekend. The weekend was fun. But now, if you want to go take everything by the balls on Monday, then that's what you got to do. You got to take everything by the balls on Monday. So make sure you do that. And I was in this bad neighborhood, and these blacks were beating the shit out of this one white guy in the bus terminal. And actually, it was the train terminal, which is right across from the bus terminal. And like, I'm thinking like, you know, like it's in Camden. So Camden, New Jersey is kind of like sketchy land. It really is sketchy land. Like, you know, like everyone's just calling each other nigga, 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 nigga. Yo, nigga! So they beat the shit out of this white guy, and they started smacking the shit out of him. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, he took my sandwich! I'm like, oh, good. All right, he took your sandwich. So now I'm getting surrounded, and I just said, honestly, I squared everybody up, and I'm like, I'm definitely not in the fucking mood for this. And I think I felt pretty good, though. I walked out of there. Nobody was really upset, but I didn't want to see the white kid get beat up. So he got smacked around a few times, and then they let him go. And then I went there. I did a show for 16 people, another 40 minutes away from Camden, took a check, got on the bus, came home the next day. It was like fucking ridiculous. Anyway, we got, if anybody's coming to Texas for the San Antonio show, I'd love to have you. That's going to be going on with Amiri King. If you know Amiri King, he's on here. He's got like 300,000 followers or something like that. He's and also Donnie Baker. So Donnie Baker and Amiri King going to be on the same stage as me next Sunday night over in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to be a good one. It's a very unique setup. Donnie Baker is from the Midwest. He's a headliner, and he's got 1 million followers on Facebook. Holy shit. And Amiri King's got 300,000 here. He's got 2 million on his personal page on Facebook. And me, I've got 10. So that's what we got. Now, honestly, I'm going to be making a lot of new videos. Today was like a little bit of a day off. I'm making a poster for the show coming up. And I shot 2 new videos, one on Friday and one on Thursday. The Thursday one I really liked. It was the text cop. It was another text cop, because people who like to walk on the sidewalks in the city and text in these little pricks. Well, I ended up blowing up confetti in their faces, so they didn't seem really too fazed about it, but it actually is pretty funny, and visually it's beautiful. And I interviewed people in Manhattan about the wall and what their opinions are on the wall being built in between the United States and Mexico. And of course, you know, New York City, there were a bunch of fairies there, a bunch of snobs. I would say the Trump needs to get out of office. All right, I think that sounded like Bane from Batman. I don't think it sounded like the snobby prick I ran into. But I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I wonder about the future. The future is not. People think the future is going to be the future. The future of 1960s and 1970s is not the same as what I feel now about how the future is going to be. I got this shitty feeling about the future because the future in 1966 to 68 was like a Star Trek future, and it involved diversity, and it involved humanity. And you know, on those old TV shows and the old Star Trek, the motion picture, the big thing that always tries to persevere, and America is supposed to be about that, is the humanity. And the humanity seems like it's missing these days. It really does. You've got so many folks who are not passionate. Like the old Star Trek, I'll explain the old Star Trek versus the new Star Trek, like Next Generation. I'm not talking the one with Chris Pine. Because the one with Chris Pine is kind of like a representation of the old Star Trek. No one gives a shit about the Next Generation. The Next Generation, they were all a bunch of stiff people. The worst. Number one, take the comm. I'm gonna go pinch a loaf. Like, come on. British speaking, pinky wearing fucking captain. Who is that guy? No one gives a shit about him. You know, like, it's just, the dreary fucking background music that sounds like somebody's on Zen, like a Xanax soundtrack. And that guy Worf, it looked like a baby's diaper with shit in it that came to a top on his head. The fucking worst. Star Trek The Next Generation, just shit. It hardly represents humanity. When Star Trek The Motion Picture came out in 1979, they were trying to represent the human adventure is just beginning. Dun, 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 dun. And you felt like, okay, they're going to go out into space and they're going to represent humanity. Today, and you know what, when you represent humanity, what do you represent? You represent triumphs. You represent the perseverance of winning and loving and caring and sympathy and all that shit. And that's not what is going on these days. You have nothing but everybody feeling like they've got to answer back like a bratty fucking kid. Like a bratty daughter or a bratty kid, like, fuck you, Dad. Or a bratty girlfriend. Like a fucking Kardashian. Like the fucking Kardashians, exactly. So, what I put the Kardashians is the name of a race in Star Trek, which is fucking funny when I think about it. Holy shit, the Kardashians. Wow. Who the fuck kid? You think they represent humanity? They represent a spoiled sector of fucking entitled fucking people. Like, I'm not even gonna call them twats. I'm just gonna say, like, they're just entitled people. Entitled people who have not fucking earned. I did. No, you didn't earn. You didn't fucking, yeah, you might exercise here and there, but you got it complimented by fucking liposuction and facelifts. And honestly, like, what is your meaning here? You know, you were spawned from a dad who represented a criminal. You know, who the fuck are you? And what is your mark on this planet? And why are you still on television while other TV shows like Roseanne are being fucking banned? You do not represent the human adventure. And getting back to Star Trek, you have a crew, Captain Kirk, who is a captain who has to bend rules, and he represents man, like Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump is bending the rules, and he's persevering because all these fucking stiff-jawed dildo heads are against him. Like, come on, let the guy do his fun. Everybody now has turned into a Kardashian, which is a spoiled, fucking entitled brat, okay? Which is kind of almost an earmark of a millennial. I'm not going to say all millennials are you know, shitty workers and entitled, but they, you know, they are what they are. You know, millennials are the only difference between like my generation, like growing up as a teenager in the 80s, is cell phones and fucking vaping and heroin and shit like that. Like, you know, we didn't have cell phones. So like, you know, if you're gonna get your ass kicked, no one like fought you with the fucking text battle or fought you. They fought you like they spit in your face, they beat the shit out of you, and then they fucking dragged you down the street and they cursed out your mother. And the fact of the matter is, you know, that was a different time. There were millennials there. There were people in my time that were just as incompetent as millennials. So there is incompetence in every age group. Generation X, Generation Y, except for the millennials now, they're really taking a lot of heat. And which is fine because you know what? They have different dependencies than the kids of my time. They're very weak. They're very weak. And if they fail, they get a trophy. They get a trophy. If they win, they still get a trophy. They get tattoos. They get involved, and they're entitled to have a comment. And your comments back in when I was a kid, your comments dissolved in the air. These comments are etched in stone forever. And there's more excuses these days. I didn't have an excuse. It's get the fuck to school, shut the fuck up, and go to school. That's it. And by the time you got to school, you got bullied and you got your ass kicked. And guess what? You know what? You know what? You had to prove yourself and you had to go fight. And you had to fight. You had to fight. And there was no crybaby. The best thing my mother ever told me in first grade is like, fight your own fucking battles. And I did. So, getting back to Star Trek, the future of Star Trek is what I wish it would be, like Captain Kirk. Because the liberals today are not logical, even like Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock pulled in Captain Kirk's tendencies, and Bones McCoy was another grounding factor. Now you've got all these emotional dynamics going on here. Even Scotty, he's like, damn it, Jim, the fucking ship is gonna break down. Scotty, do what you gotta do. I believe in you. Jim, this fucking ship could break up. Hey, never tell me the odds. Like a Han Solo type thing, right? Then you get to the Next Generation, which is more now. Star Trek Next Generation is more now.
Well, if we go through the vortex, what do you think is gonna happen? That's gonna happen?
Everyone's all calm and medicated. They're like fucking delusional. It's stupid. I don't want to belong to a Next Generation future. I want to belong to a Star Trek future where you gotta bend the rules. And Donald Trump is bending the rules. And people are logical back then because they go, you know what? We've got to protect our fucking the Federation. We got boundaries in space. The Romulan zone, you got the neutral zone, you got the Klingon space. Those are all their fucking spaces. If you cross over, you get incinerated. The bottom line. The bottom line is build the fucking wall. So what's happening here is all these little
crybabies, because people have feelings and stuffed animals have feelings too.
like they're just raised on a different ideal system. I say you want to get immersed into reality. It's like people driving cars. Everyone gets to drive a car these days, right? Well, if you're going to drive a car and you're not sympathetic and aware that you're in a vehicle, which is a huge fucking weapon, you need to walk on the side of the road like I do, or ride a bicycle on the side of the road like busy roads and go, wow, these are fucking massive vehicles. Maybe I shouldn't ride up somebody's ass, or maybe I should let somebody cross the street in suburbia, or maybe, you need to do that. Suburbia is fucking stupid. People need to go and see bad neighborhoods. People need to go like Chuck fucking Schumer. Okay, he needs to go visit the border. He needs to go to New Mexico. He needs to go to Texas. And Chuck Schumer has to stop going to cocktail parties and fucking pairing up with Nancy Pelosi and putting himself on a fucking pedestal and fucking sipping Perrier or whatever he does. He needs to get down to the border. When he goes down to the border, even like Jim Acosta from CNN, he went down to the border. Jim Acosta, you know that annoying fucking prick that was bothering fucking Trump at the media hearing? Well, Acosta went down and he goes, wow, this fucking wall actually works. Of course the fucking wall works, you dummy. Chuck Schumer needs to go down to the wall and he needs to drag the fucking half-dead Nancy Pelosi down there, and they need to go and look at the neighborhoods. I'm going down there next week, and I'm going to start talking to people in Texas, and I'm going to do interviews like I did the other day. I interviewed people in New York City on Friday, asking them, what do you think of the wall? What do you think of the wall? What do you think of the wall? And a Mexican goes, you're going to have to build your wall. A Mexican, a fucking Mexican said that, okay? Some Brazilians are I spoke to a couple of Brazilians. One was a really fucking hot chick, dude. She was fucking smoking. She really was. Really sexy bitch. But, I don't speak any English. But the guy she was with was like, nah, the wall is bad. And I'm like, the wall's not fucking bad. You know, you guys don't. The wall, you know what the wall's like? It's an essential item. It's not, they've given too many people. It's like this. You know what? You know what? Asking the Americans about the wall is like my mother asking me when I was a kid, "What do you want for dinner?" Don't ask me. Just make the fucking dinner. Don't let Americans think they have a say in the fucking wall. Because if Americans have a say in the wall, then Americans should have had say in the space program. They should have had say in all the fucking regulations throughout the 70s and 60s about dumping oil in the driveways after a fucking oil change in the car. They should have say in everything. The wall is an essential item. The president is the boss. Do as I say, not as I do, and shut the fuck up, okay? Well, everywhere now, I mean, like when Harry fucking Truman dropped 2 fucking atom bombs on Japan, there wasn't anybody on Twitter going, Harry S. Truman's an asshole. He dropped the fucking bombs. Nobody said a word, and it was over. The war was over, and you know what? No one even talks shit about Harry Truman anymore. But the motherfucker saved the entire fucking, the continental USA, and showed we meant business. Donald Trump's got to do the same shit, and he's fucking doing that. And if the thing is that you really don't realize the masculinity that's going on here. And I know because, hey, you want us to all be androgynous, okay? And I'm not going to be androgynous because I like chicks and nobody tells me what to do. So any of these black rim glass wearing idiots, especially the ones that get the same glasses as their fucking girlfriends or their wives, seriously, bend over and you need to go fucking take a walk. And Chuck Schumer needs to go down to the fucking border so he can go, wow, we really do have a fucking problem here. A guy, I mean, this guy's half fucking dead. He's done. He's done. He's an old regime of an effeminate. What about all the shit that he said? That's the question. How do you fucking live with yourself? When I was 4 years old, we picked up the grass clippings off the lawn, and my mom goes, okay, we're gonna fucking get ice cream after this. And it was Sunday night, I never forgot. And guess what? You know what she said? We're not getting ice cream. I'm like, oh, why not? We just fucking picked up the whole lawn. We're not getting ice cream, sorry. Okay. Now, that's like Chuck Schumer saying all the shit he said about the border. He said, we gotta step up illegal immigration protection, and then all of a sudden, and it's all on video, like it's all documented, him, Obama, like they all said it. And now, when it's time to execute it, you know what they do? They fucking turn a deaf ear on that. So, that's like my mom saying we're gonna get ice cream, we don't get ice cream. We're gonna do fucking illegal immigration protection, and we don't do it. You're on fucking TV saying it. Like, how the fuck, like, was that you, or was that an imposter? Was that a fucking clone, or was that a body snatcher? That wasn't you? He looks like he's got a fucking body snatcher. Have you seen that decrepit crypt keeper? Say that fucking 10 times fast. I have. He looked like a fucking zombie. And you know who's zombies out there? All the people on fucking pills and Chuck Schumer, they're all zombies. They don't give a fuck about you. He is the body snatcher. He is. He looks like a fucking half-medicated, no pulse, no passion. Like, let me tell you something. If I'm going to prove my point, see how I'm talking right now? If I'm going to prove my point, okay? How am I going to prove my point? I'm going to prove my point by being an example. By being an example of fucking humanity. You have to be, like, you know, I used to go to church a couple of churches, a lot of fucking Christian churches and stuff like that. I tried it out, right? And the people that go to the church are like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to go to your churches. I don't believe in what you're saying because you are not an example. You can be following the rules of God, but because you follow the rules of God does not mean you have got to be a limp dick idiot. You don't have to be. You can be a fucking man. You don't have to get your fucking tested. You can think about naked chicks. You can think, you gotta emphasize, listen, do you want to be like me? You be an example, and people go, wow, that guy's got something. Oh, it must be Christianity. Oh, that guy's got something. He's got a fucking color to him. Fucking Chuck Schumer. Go down to the fucking thing, be a guy, and realize and go, listen, people, like, if he's convinced, like, when you're fucking convinced of something, like, if I was OJ and I didn't kill my wife, I'd be like, I did not kill my fucking wife. Are you guys fucking crazy? I like white chicks. I like fucking her every night. Why would I kill my wife? But you know what? We all know she fucking killed her. So if Chuck Schumer was so convinced, he'd be like, I'm gonna tell you about why we shouldn't have the wall. Why we shouldn't have the wall, okay? Nancy, shh, shut the fuck up. This is why we shouldn't have the wall. He'd be like, let me tell you, Americans, we don't need the wall because why? Because you can't. You cannot be a fucking guy who protects women and children and likes to fuck and all of a sudden say, we don't need the wall because, look at, you got, dude, what? You're fucking half embalmed and you got fucking Xanax running through your fucking blood. Look, if you came up as a guy, Chuck Schumer, and you fucking said, we don't need the wall. No, you gotta go, listen, guys, we don't need the fucking wall. You know why? Because we don't need the wall. Like, I can't come up with any good reasons, but we don't need the wall. No, dude, you need the fucking wall. You need to go, oh, wow. Looks like we need a fucking wall. Like, come up with a passionate reason instead of some cookie cutter horse shit you discussed with whatever they fucking brain fed you. Dude, you've been absorbed by stupidity because you are clearly not a fucking man who protects men, women, and children. You're not. You're not the guy who protects his block. I go out of my house every day. You know what I do? I look at my block and I see any suspicious shit. And if I see suspicious shit, I knock on the window and I go, hey, what are you doing here? You selling drugs? You jerking off? You fucking staring at some chick through the window? What are you doing? Like, you gotta have a protective spirit. Chuck Schumer, hi! You don't have a fucking protective spirit. You got dick. You got nothing, dude. You got nothing. Go take a testosterone shot and get that fucking limp dick of yours fucking moving again. And that other fucking crypt keeper next to you. The both of you, go visit. Thank God Donald Trump visited because now I know he's seen it. Like, if you're gonna talk about, like, if you're really gonna be talking about Korea and North Korea, South Korea, North Korea, you can talk about it all you want. When you visit the fucking place, now it's a reality. Now it's a fucking reality. So it's like me talking about, like, I'm gonna redo New York City. When and you don't visit the city, it's like me. I'm going to design, if I'm doing design work, I'm going to design a building, and you gotta go to the fucking job site. You gotta go to the job site. You gotta go to the field. You can't just fucking stand here like,
we're gonna fucking, no wall.
dickhead, get in a fucking car, an airplane or whatever, go to site, talk to all the towns around the fucking border and see who's gotten ass raped, okay? And then maybe you'll fucking change your tune. This guy's gotta go. He's gotta go. I don't even think he's done anything, this guy, but seriously. I see there's comments coming in. I'm new to this, guys. So, top chat, live chat, all messages are visible. Top chat. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm fucking bad at. I'm really new to this. I'm used to Facebook, and I don't see any of your messages. Sorry, I missed some of your messages. But I've long-winded this. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make the analogy to Captain Kirk, old Star Trek, new Star Trek, and this new limp dick generation that we're in of Americans. Because unfortunately, in my mind, growing up, I'd rather be like a guy who wants to protect the country than the guy goes,
Okay, I'll take it in the ass.
seriously. So that's the whole, coming into this, I realized, I go, these Democrat people are not like people I want to be like. I have a friend who I knew for many years, and all of a sudden, he's just like, and he works at colleges and shit, and you know what he ends up being? He ends up being wearing the same glasses as his fucking wife, and she's all pasty, and she's got an attitude. She's a fucking man-hater. Look, seriously, if you guys know me from Sore Losers, these people are indeed fucking sore losers. When Obama was in office, I can give a fuck less. I mean, I wasn't even crazy about Bush, but I made fun of him, you know? Seriously, these fucking people, they really need to be men again. They really need to be. They need to go look, and I'm putting it in kind of a crude form, and I don't want to put into a crude form, but the thing is, I've been all over this fucking country. I haven't just been on Long Island my whole life. I've traveled. I've been in so many states throughout the Midwest where they wear fucking guns, and the South, everywhere. Been to Texas, Oklahoma. Those are not the fucking people that are going to be like, wow, Chuck, you're really right. The only people that believe in this left movement are only people, and I'm not going to say educated, but people who are shielded in offices in big cities. That's it. LA, New York, Pittsburgh, all the little fairies. Those are fairies. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because they are a bunch of fairies. And they are not. That's not America. America is a very large valley, and these people do not embody what America's about. They don't embody a fighting spirit. There was a fucking war. They think they'd have to be double-clicking the whole time to win the war. The difference between Garden City... Ah, fuck. Why is this like... Garden City... Ah, fuck. Ah! This, I don't like this thing. I can't see your fucking comments. Motherfucker. I don't like this thing. How come I can't see your comment? Oh, here we go. Sore losers, George. The difference between Garden City and Hempstead is crazy, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. That's extreme, man. Who else we got in here? Dude, imagine Chuck Schumer with a raging boner running around his office high on test. Why is it that Democrats were in support of border control until Donald Trump got elected? I don't know, Jeff. I don't fucking get it. Because they're spiteful cunts. By the way, George, I see you're building a bike in the background. Yes. Well, that's the old one. I have the new one I've been riding. He is the body snatcher, our Chuck in there. What do you think about the 20 million bucks made off GoFundMe being returned to the donors because they didn't hit the goal? That's bullshit. Let's put Schumer on those Chicago streets. Exactly. Nancy Pelosi is a moonbat. What about the border between Garden City and Hempstead? Very funny, Mike. George, it's time to build the wall. Mike, build the wall. Dude, whatever happened to our Roosevelt Field Mall video where you're pretending to back out? That's been up. Okay. Any new ones? LOL, the difference between gardens. Okay, we got you. All right. So that's what's going on. That's me going off about all this shit. It's been 27 minutes. I don't want to bend you here. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to revive the channel. 2 new videos are coming up. The new video is going to be another text cop where I blow up confetti in people's faces using a confetti cannon. It's a beautiful looking video, and these fucking people texting the whole time. And it's in slow motion. It's fucking funny. And I ask people on the streets of New York City what they think about the wall. So, the wall between America and Mexico. The United States of Mexico. I shouldn't say America. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. More to come. I really want to build this because honestly, brother, I see that Big Paul, I see that what's on TV and I go, wait a second. I see these douchebags on fucking YouTube and I don't look at TV. I don't watch YouTube. And I'm like, wait a second. I get people telling me all the time, dude, why don't you got to get on your YouTube? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get on my fucking YouTube because these people, these fucking kids that are on here are terrible. They're terrible. You know, they're like fucking putting firecrackers in their assholes and they think their shit's funny. Honestly, dude, they don't know. First of all, they don't know humanity. They don't know people. They don't know timing. They're just like, wow, I can put fucking peanut butter in my hair and I can look like a monster. Like, it's that dumb. So, I'm ready to rock this fucking year with you guys. We're going to do a lot of fucking great shit. If you're in Texas, I'm doing a show in Texas with Amiri King and Donnie Baker. And that's next Monday, Sunday, January 20th. If you're around, awesome. Tickets are $23. And I called up Amiri King. I said, listen, no, he called me actually. He goes, dude, you got to try this new thing. It's kind of like YouTube. And I'm like, dude, fuck that. You need to go do stand-up. Let's do a show. Pack the fucking dump out. So we're going to do Texas. And I got Donnie Baker. He's got 1 million guys on fucking... on whatchamacallit, on Facebook. Amiri King's got 2 million on his personal page, 90,000 on his other page, and then he's got 300,000 here. So I'm ready to rock this fucking year, do new shit, new style videos. We're gonna have some fucking good laughs. Just do better titles on your videos. That's a great comment, dude, and that's part of it. Whoever said that, do new titles? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's funny you said that, man, because you came out in my recommended, I don't know who you are. I'm George Gallo, Commander Vanilla. whatever your name is. And I appreciate that, Big Paul. And we're going to do a lot of fucking cool stuff this year, guys. Cheers. God bless you all. America is going to be great. Just don't be afraid of what people have to say about you. Be mindful of your fucking job. And don't be afraid of HR. Because HR is like Star Trek The Next Generation. A bunch of fucking uptight twats. So we're going to have a good time this year. We're going to have a lot of loose comedy. And you know who's going to be the fucking victims? Who's going to be my victims? Everybody's a target. All the people who are not tuning into reality. So all the texting people, all the dodos out there, we are going to make a mockery of bullshit that's out there. And I can't fucking wait. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's have a fucking great year. Tomorrow's Monday. Knock 'em dead. It's 11:45. If you're going to go to bed right now, make sure you rub one out, have a good time, get your toy box next to the bed, girls. Have a good time with that. Let's have a fucking kick-ass week. If you have to go on unemployment, sleep late tomorrow. Cheers, guys. I don't know how to fucking end this thing.